This Money Watch segment is brought to you by Prudential.
Our credit scores find their way into many parts of our lives. They impact everything from renting or buying a home to the interest rates on credit cards. People with lower scores often find themselves in a bind, struggling to get their credit in good shape. John Vento is a certified public accountant and financial planner. He joins me now to talk about how to manage good credit and improve bad credit. All right, John, so first of all, what is the most common form of debt and how can people avoid it?
Right. Most common form of debt is definitely credit card debt in the United States. In terms of how to avoid it, probably the best way to avoid it is simply by following some basic principles of only buying things you could actually afford. And the way you really need to look at a credit card, it should not be a method of payment. It's just a convenient way to pay for things. Clearly, it's safer than using cash. But at the end of the month, if you don't have those funds available to pay for whatever it is you're purchasing, and quite frankly, you should not be buying whatever it is.
Well, how many credit cards should a person have at once?
There's a lot of different opinions on that, but my philosophy is you should have no more than 2, maybe 3 at most, no more than that.
Well, are retail credit cards worth it?
The thing with retail credit cards, sometimes they'll offer you some sort of discounts associated with them. So depending on the situation, it may make sense to actually get a retail credit card. But if you're going to do that, I wouldn't do that with more than just one credit card. The other thing is sometimes you'll get these teaser situations where you go to a store, they say, apply for a credit card now, we're going to offer you 10, 15, 25% off. Don't fall for that very often. If you're buying a pair of socks, it's just not worth it. And if you're about to refurnish your entire apartment, you're going to spend $10,000, then it's something you want to think about. If you get 25% off, then maybe you want to apply for that retail credit card. But at the end of the month, when that bill comes, pay for it. And shortly after that, cancel that credit card. Sort of beat them at their own game.
What about credit scores? Why are credit scores rather so important?
Well, a credit score is like a report card. So, you go to college, hopefully you get good grades. If you get a really good grade, you'll get a good job. Same is true of your credit. So if you have a high credit score, there's a much higher probability that you're going to get a lower interest rate if and when you have to borrow money. And credit score is used not just for debt, it's also used for job applications, renting an apartment, obtaining a mortgage, et cetera. So, credit score is used for many different purposes.
Well, how can people come back from a bad credit mark and improve their score?
Yeah, so there's a number of steps you should take. One is, again, use that credit card sparingly. Make sure you hold on to credit cards that you've had the longest. So if you have a credit card you took out back in the 90s, that's not the one you want to get rid of. It's the one that you just took out last month. Having too many credit cards and having too much access to debt actually hurts your credit score. So taking simple steps like that. And of course, the most basic one, always pay your bills on time, every time. That's probably the single most important factor in determining your credit score.
And what factors should people consider when it comes to determining which credit card to choose?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of different things you're going to look at. So some credit cards, they may offer you special promotions, and there's little perks that come along with it, points. You have to just analyze and make that decision pretty much on your own. Again, I would not use a credit card as a way to finance things because that really is the surest way to destroy your financial future. Credit card debt, I refer to it in my book as the terminal cancer of finance. It's sure to kill you if you misuse it. So I would simply say if you're going to use those credit cards, try to avoid carrying balances on those cards.
All right, John Vento. John, thanks very much.
Great. Thank you.